focus more today on suspension delay.
Members of the Public Hearing Committee continued grilling.
I, Kemi Adeosun, hereby affirm that all the evidence
that all the evidence I will give here
shall be the truth
and the only truth,
the whole truth,
whole
nothing
truth,
but the truth. So
I
help me God.
affirm.
Thank you.
It's the turn of the Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, and the Director of Legal Matters in the SEC, Mr. Christopher Gabriel.
The Minister in her position as the board, because as we are speaking now, there is no board of SEC. So she exercised the powers and functions of the board of SEC. And when these issues came up, she had the duty and responsibility to react in the public interest.
What are the issues that came up?
Those issues that are contained in the letter of suspension of Munir Gwarzo, they're already there in the letter. When these issues came via the whistleblower platform, which is being administered by the Office of the Honorable Minister, she had a duty and a responsibility in accordance with the policies of that whistleblower document to react by taking the necessary step in her position as the board of SEC to issue those suspension letters. And in doing so, there is also the concomitant responsibility of the minister to ensure that those allegations are properly investigated. And she went to the step of constituting the administrative panel of inquiry. The administrative panel of inquiry, again, is in line with the provisions of the public service rules. Section 030406 again gives the minister the power, after suspending an officer, if she deems that there is need to make an investigation, to constitute the API, which is what she did.
Mr. Munir is not removed, he has been suspended, and he is not the first DG of SEC to be suspended. In the absence of a board, the minister does, as the Director Legal says, have powers to suspend. Now, Mr. Munir's, the allegations are quite serious. And I say this because in capital market, we have a concept of fit and proper. I was a capital market operator for many years. To be in the capital market, you must be a fit and proper person. The standard expected of a capital market operator is very high. The standard of a capital market regulator is even higher. And when we are taking disciplinary actions against people, we must be seen to be above reproach, or else those actions will be questioned. And that was the challenge that we were having. The company in contention were alleging that the person who was investigating them was not a fit and proper person to do so, and felt that his actions were colored. And that suspicion needed to be removed. Mr. Munir, on the issue of his severance pay, or that he collected, we have investigated it. We have also looked, he made some positions that similar was done in Central Bank. We have gone to Central Bank, that is not the case. As far as we are concerned, the overruling of the recommendation of the Director Legal was improper. And if there was any contention, it should have been referred to the ministry to adjudicate. You cannot judge in your own case and then pay yourself. It's never done. And there's no history of somebody collecting 104 million one day and resuming on another desk in the same organization the next day. On the issue of Medusa investment, which was one of the allegations, Mr. Munir said he resigned in 2012. As I said, we obtained documents from CAC showing him to still be a major shareholder and also a director. Now, honourable members, you will know that under public service rules, and I will quote, Rule 030424 expressly states as follows: public officers are not prohibited from holding shares in both public and private companies operating in Nigeria or abroad, except that they must not be directors in private companies and may only be directors in public companies if nominated by government. As we speak, Mr. Munir is director in 2 companies, so he has violated public service rules, and we have proved that. Secondly, the Investment and Securities Act says as follows: the Director General and full-time commissioners shall devote their full-time service to the Commission while holding office, and shall not hold any other office or employment except where appointed by virtue of their office in the Commission into membership of the board or any agency of government in Nigeria or any international organization to which the Commission is a member or affiliate. In this case, the Administrative Panel of Inquiry found he is a director and a shareholder in Medusa. He is also sending and signing bank mandates for that company, but that company has not transacted with SEC. But that in itself is a breach. But of more concern is the second company, Outbound Investments, where he claimed in his submission that he was representing his wife, that it is his wife's family company, and his participation was as a representative of his wife. But that is not provided for in public service rules. And of more concern is the fact that that company has transacted with the SEC in the supply of diesel. So there is a conflict of interest, and that is what the administrative panel has looked into. Now, as I've said, there were many allegations, some of which were not substantiated, and we have discountenanced them. But the 3 significant ones, administrative panel has looked into. Mr. Munir was called, he was given right of audience, he came, he has made written submissions, and therefore we believe that our decision to suspend Mr. Munir was vindicated. We cannot have somebody sitting at the helm of affairs and to suggest that it's only when the FCC arrests them that then they can be removed. That's not good for Nigeria.
She denies claims by the suspended SEC DG that the forensic audit the SEC was conducting into the operations of Oando PLC was responsible for his suspension.
Sometimes tough decisions must be taken. I knew at the time, and this was one of the reasons why we had, that he would try and link it with Oando. But I must run that risk. And he indeed tried and did various actions which I don't want to discuss here and I think can be contested and disproved. It has nothing to do with Oando. And I'm speaking now because the current management of the SEC are here. I met with them yesterday and they're giving me a progress report on that very forensic audit which he claims I directed him to stop. It is not correct, and it is very wrong of us as capital market operators to play fast and loose with shareholders' money. Every individual should face their own matters. Oando has nothing to do with this. SEC is an institution. SEC was here when I was a capital market operator. We met SEC and we would leave SEC. Munir Gwazo, with respect, is not SEC. SEC is an institution and they're doing their work, and that work will continue. Now, on the issue of interference, I need to make it very clear. Ministry of Finance does not interfere, but we give policy direction. And I will point out that I can bring, it's just a pity, I can bring documentation on many issues on which SEC consult us. And we will write back and say, do this or don't do that, we approve this, we don't approve that. So why is it only on the decision where you're suspended that you now say we're interfering? Many, many memos written by him asking for direction on various issues. That's our job. And I don't do it alone. I don't exercise those powers alone. I have the Permanent Secretary of Finance, a very experienced capital market operator, senior banker, Dr. Mahmoud Dutse. I have the Director Legal, who was formerly in SEC. I have a team. So it's not a personal issue. It is about the market. So Mr. Munir should face his matter, and please let us not drag listed companies that have thousands of staff and millions of shareholders into this matter. It's really very wrong.
Thank you.
Public proceedings such as this, no doubt, is capable of restoring investors' confidence in the capital market, adjudged to be on the top 5 performing markets globally, with a 16.2% growth rate as at February 1st, 2018.
The intention of this hearing is not to witch hunt, is not to abate, is to unravel the stories, get to the details of it, and make sure we make recommendations that will not allow such to reoccur again.